Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the Geekcast Radio Network and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, Steve J. Mike, and joining me is the computer-loving Duyahn the Music Man. Finally, something I could pick on you about, you bastard.
You know what, though? I kind of needed it after that hour of hell. That's quite all right.
Yes, today we're going to be going Beyond the Night and reviewing 3 more episodes from Knight Rider Classic Season 2. Hit the turbo boost, Kit.
Michael! I want to find out who killed her.
That's why I'm here. Beautiful models, all bringing in fortunes and jewels, only to have them stolen.
Until 2 years ago, it seems you didn't exist.
Could have fooled me.
How nice of you to join us. Kick it over here.
That young man was talking to his car, Maurice.
Too late to slow down, pal.
And it may be too late to turbo, Michael.
Better not be.
First up today, we've got Diamonds Aren't a Girl's Best Friend. Oh, God. Michael heads for Mexico to trap a talent agent who's using beautiful models to smuggle diamonds into the U.S.
I'm not really sure what to say about this particular episode because there is action to a point, but not a whole lot of it.
No.
There's not a whole lot of it. You can, if you kind of watch maybe the first, I'd say, and Mike, you can tell me if I'm wrong in the timing, but I'd say maybe in the first 10 to 15 minutes, you almost sort of know what's going to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say so. It's kind of obvious. I mean, hell, they put it right out there with the moron telling the stories.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obviously, and it's such a cliched 80s thing. At first, I thought there was a lot of mystery and intrigue to it, but they're just...
That's what I was like, okay, cool, kind of a mystery episode.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought that was kind of neat. And then it's like, no. I think, like I said, after 15 minutes, it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
What do you have?
The plates on the car were stolen. It's heading north.
That young man was talking to his car, Maurice. Can you imagine? Talking to something that can't talk back?
Let's turn these scanners on for something that was kind of dull and boring after the first 15 minutes. I have more scanners on notes than I do scanners off.
You too?
Yeah, the fashion of the 80s just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It just makes me laugh. This job is getting to be a pain in the neck.
One of my scanner notes is, yes, real glass.
Mud flaps on Kit. I'd like to see that. So, back in season 1, we had Kit the alien, and in this episode, we have Kit the ghost. I did like that scene.
I
thought
did
that
too.
Scene was really good. Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You want to see a car bites dog story? So funny. I like that they say Kit would have to be flown down to Mexico, yet I don't like how they don't really show it.
No, I don't
Okay,
either, but...
Well, okay, yeah, I get it. It's an 80s show. It's a budgeted show. They're not going to have but
they're not going to have this huge airplane with a car in it and,
Well, right, but
Kit
even so, we've seen in this show before in season 1 and up to now, we've seen them go to airports and use airplanes, and we saw whether it was the airplane Kit was on or not, we saw an airplane land in Mexico. What I'm saying is, why not just show the airport and at least show them attempting to, board him or attempt to, put him in cargo bay or what? Just something simple. Not nothing dramatic or anything else. But again, I guess it would be a budgetary thing and all that. But I do like that they actually said, instead of just, ooh, Kit magically appears in Mexico, I like that they actually said that he has to be flown down there.
Yeah, and the other thing that I wish they had made a scene for is them in customs.
Yeah.
Them in customs, going over Kit.
Yeah.
When after David's talking to Devin back at the Foundation.
Yeah, that would have been really cool if they had actually shown the customs scene.
They didn't do that, but that would have been... Yeah, but I agree with you. They actually did mention the fact that Kit flies down to Mexico, so, I actually also like the scene before where Kit's like, I don't like flying. And Michael's like, okay, fine. I'll just pick up a rental car in Mexico City. It's like, you're not wanting to work with me. This hurts, but I understand. And it's like...
he plays the whole guilt card.
Yeah, and it's like, Michael, you wouldn't. Oh, perhaps I could make this one exception.
yeah. What else did you like about it?
It was humorous. That whole scene was humorous. And the fact that, I mentioned the customs scene earlier, the fact that Devin gets this look of, say what? Not on my time, on his face.
Yeah.
After, get me the senior officer in customs. It's like, oh my God, such authoritativeness.
Yeah.
So, I liked that.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything. I'm sure that maybe, we'll think of something down the road, but there's probably, if we dissected this episode, I don't think we'd come back with much, so I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
there were a lot of good moments with Kit and Michael. There were a lot of, humorous moments with Kit. As far as good moments on the plot, I didn't write any down.
I didn't either.
It's there's nothing
There's
there.
nothing here.
Yeah.
Michael, are you all right?
No. This job's getting to be a pain in the neck.
So let's turn these scanners off, and as we said at the end of the scanners on clip, there really isn't much here, but at the same time, there isn't much here to dissect. You watch the episode, it's pretty plain cut, clear as day. The only thing I'll say about it is that, again, they're using the red herring thing.
Yes.
Because at first you think it's the chick, the older chick, the what's her name?
Not right.
The model mother person. Crap. No,
Nina?
look it up. Yeah.
I don't know her real name, but
yeah. Nina Jorgensen. You think it's her at first because you would think that,
I thought it was too.
Yeah. So they kind of play that whole thing of, hey, it's this person, and then at the end, oh no, it's actually Bernie. It's the guy telling
the guy actually.
Stories.
Yeah.
That's kind of like an unneeded red herring once again. The only note I really wrote down was...
But Nina was in this, remember, because she was kind of...
Right, she was in on it. I'm not saying she wasn't
Right, but I'm saying she was kind of his right-hand man, or woman.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Right, no, I get that, but what I'm saying is the way that they show the episode, the way that the writing is done for the episode, Bernie is just kind of like this eccentric storyteller, and it's like he has nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the way that they show this. up until the point of they realize, Michael and Kit and Devin and all of them figure out that, oh, it is actually him doing this, and Nina is his right hand. But at first, the way it's shown to you is that, oh, it's her that, she's the one that has the suspicious behavior, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And I just think that was unnecessary.
I thought it was unnecessary because, like I said, after the first 15 minutes of this plot, if you really sit and watch it, you could kind of sort of guess as to what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, you really don't need to sit and watch the whole thing.
No. The only negative I wrote down about this one was actually before the scene where it was the scene right before Michael's in Kit when he says this job is going to be a pain in the neck. Seriously, Michael let the guy get the drop on him like that. It was the scene where Michael had bent over to look at something, and all of a sudden this guy comes in and knocks him, hits him in the neck. And I was like,
well, Kit really
Michael.
didn't give him an. I don't know. I kind of disagree with you on this one, and here's why. Kit gave him the warning, but Michael probably they thought, all right, Michael, we gotta play this like Michael doesn't have fast enough reflexes.
But he looked up. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Why it's negative for me. Kit gave him the warning. You're right.
He gave him the warning, but he didn't have fast enough reflexes.
He did not react fast. But see, Michael would never do that. Michael would, we've seen Michael, go after guys and stuff like this and everything else. Or we've seen him be attacked in a small space like that, right. and him come up on top. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I didn't see in this scene, I did not see David look upward.
He did.
Okay, I didn't see that. I know that Kit gave him the warning. Michael, watch out! I'm picking up, and that was as far as Kit got.
Because Michael looked as soon as Kit said that, Michael looked up, and then he gets hit in the neck immediately.
Yeah,
but there was no time for him to respond, and that would never. There would never not be enough time for him to work. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't.
Did you have anything for Scanners Off?
Just what you have here. Like I said, now that you've explained that scene to me, because it was like, okay, I look, you hear Kit talking, and it's like, did he even look up? I mean, he just got slammed.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
So,
I
don't know. That particular scene there, just kind of like, all right, Michael, you've usually been faster than that.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going to move on to the next episode.
Let's do it, buddy!
Somebody out there wants a scapegoat, and they picked Ron.
But I'm no burglar and I'm no killer.
Help him, please. He's got a prior.
Michael, look out.
You're the one the police are looking for.
There was nowhere else to take him. The whole town's after him.
Hold it right there, son. Chief Rupert Craig.
I got no reason to run.
We've lit the fuse. Now let's see if anything explodes.
Up next is White Line Warriors. Car club members are being blamed for a string of burglaries that coincide with their weekend visits to a coastal community. And there's also a subplot with Manny, who tries to sell a car security system to Michael.
I know where this already is going in my... I already know where this is going. Okay?
Well,
and it's two simple words.
Again, another Fast and the Furious, another plot wrapped around a Fast and the Furious type of thing, where you've got, drag racers and this, that, and the other thing and everything else. I'm glad it's cars this time and not another motorcycle gang episode.
Yeah.
It seems like we have between season 1 and season 2, there are way too many damn motorcycle gang episodes. With this one, I overall enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a good plot. It kind of threw you for a loop until obviously the very end, and then it's like, oh.
Did we see this coming?
I don't know. Any thoughts on the plot?
Nah, not really. I mean, I thought it was good. We actually had a lot of action in this one. I thought the cop was a stuck-up asshole. But, that's why I said I had two simple words for this episode, because I don't, because wasn't there another episode way back when we did talk about the kind of the corrupt cop thing? I just don't remember what one it was at this particular second, but that's kind of where this sits with me. But at the same time, I can overlook that because there's more action to it as well.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's turn these scanners on. Manny's just flabbergasted. The whole subplot with Manny, it's
that's
just like...
too funny.
It's funny, but at the same time, I felt that it was like they're just throwing something in here for Kit to have a funny moment to do with while everything else is going on in the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I did like it. I thought it was interesting. I don't know. Overall, I like this episode up until the end. I mean, that's there wasn't really anything that I could single out. I mean,
the one funny moment that I did like was that the police officer, he's walking out there and he sees Manny out there. He was trying to jimmy the door. Says he knows you. It's like, he's trying to, and Michael's like, it's okay. I know him. It's okay. Because the police officer's trying to do his job, obviously thinking that he's trying to rip this car off, trying to rip Kit off. So it was kind of funny, but the police officer didn't know that, beforehand that it was okay that Manny could do this type of thing. It was just weird.
Yeah, it was. What did you have that you liked about this one?
Again, like you, I liked it up until the end. We kind of get to see what the real McCoy is, the real Schlemiel. But I will say this, a twist because one note I wrote near the end, or, up until the end was, corrupt cop again? Seriously? There's a twist. That's the note I wrote, because that's kind of what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I like the whole aspect of the, centering the robberies around the radio station stuff. I like that. I like, sending the signal, et cetera, all that.
Right.
But just the fact that it ends up, so.
Kind of a dull ending.
Let's turn these scanners off. Again, just like the first episode we talked about today, I didn't write much down about, what I didn't like about the episode, because overall I was really, really enjoying it. The story was, bringing me in up until the end.
Right.
Seriously, yet another corrupt cop story.
Right, yeah.
And it was getting so good at first. But it's like, most of the corrupt cop stories we've seen before is either the cop is in league with another criminal, like I forget. There was an episode where the judge episode, that's what it was. The cops and the judge episode from season 1. I forget which episode it is off the top of my head. Where the whole town was corrupt as far as the city officials. It's that type of thing. The only twist here is
you're not
that,
thinking of A Nice and Decent Little Town, are you?
Yeah, there you go. The twist here is that it's just one. It's just the chief, and he felt that this was him getting payback for 30, however long he's been on the force,
years or whatever.
30 plus years of service. But that's still no excuse. It's just
Nah.
I don't know. What didn't you like about this one?
Well, again, like I said, twist up until the end. I mean, that's all you can really say about this one, TFG, is that, the story's drawing you in, it's good plot, and then the end just like, huh? No, not again.
We're gonna move on.
It's Black Beauty.
Shh, that's our secret.
Let's lose the welcoming committee. How is she?
She's so pale.
You can save her life, and I can save yours.
So what do you got, a tank?
Close the door, man. They're gonna rip me apart.
I'm afraid it's hopeless, Michael.
We're talking about Becky's life here.
This is the police. Throw out your weapons and come out with your hands up.
This is gonna be an e-ticket ride.
And finally up today, we have what is probably, in my personal opinion, not my favorite episode of Season 2, Race for Life.
You shall die a horrible death.
Shut up. Michael races the clock to find a gang leader, played by Mario Marcellano, who is the only compatible donor for a girl needing a life-saving transplant. Okay, this episode...
I'm going to tear this one apart, so I'm going to let you sit back and have your cannonball of fun.
Well, I'm not necessarily going to tear it apart. I've got a couple of reasons why I don't like it, and we'll get to that when we get to the scanners off, but alright, well, backstory. Every time I would see this episode in reruns, not only is most of the episode is it dark and gray and raining in the actual episode, half the time, every time I would see it come on TV, it was in the middle of a rainstorm. Outside in real life. So it's like, this episode is...
Okay, can you put this on when it's not...
Yeah, exactly. There's maybe 10 minutes throughout the entire episode where it's a clear, sunny day. The rest of it's all
gray and rainy.
Very rainy. You know, Kit's got his windshield wipers going, etc., etc., etc. So that's one of the reasons why I really don't
look cool in that type of a shot.
Kit does, yes.
He looks kind of cool because his scanner glows a little brighter and his lights are also a little brighter.
Yeah. I mean, Kit looks cool in rainy shots. I'm not saying that, isn't it? But just the overall plot here is just... I just...
See, you and I...
It's not an episode I hate.
Disagree. That's...
Well, it's... The plot here is Michael has to convince this gang member to, save April's niece. And, it just... I don't know. I didn't like this episode watching it as a kid, and again, I think as an adult, why I don't like it is it reminds me of a later episode of, years later after Knight Rider was off the air. They did a Walker Texas Ranger episode with this same kind of plot line, where a girl was needed a life-saving transplant, needed an organ, etc., etc., etc. And again, that's why I'm not too keen on this one. This one is not an episode I hate, but at the same time, it's not one that I will go back and watch for the fun of it.
Well, it doesn't, but it's not supposed to be fun. That's the idea.
That's the point, exactly. So, all right. Any other thoughts on the plot?
Oh, you've got to admit, TFG, that it did have some heart to it. Even if you don't, even if you didn't like the fact that it was aired on a rainy day in real life, and it rained in the episode, there was actually kind of a second plot, and that is that Michael has to break up this gang fight between these two gangs as well. So there were kind of two plots in one episode.
Yeah, but that's almost secondary. The only reason why he has to do that is so he can get the kid to be able to go to the damn hospital to give the girl the transplant. Yeah. Yes, I agree. There are two. There is a plot and a B plot here, but... So let's turn these scanners on. The one thing I do like about this episode is that I like the family explanation that Michael gives Kit. That, he, Kit, Devin, and April, they're all kind of like a family, but they're not at all,
They're not related.
Right, exactly. I do like that about this episode, how, it's essentially telling you that anyone that any friends or anyone that you love outside of, say, girlfriend, wife, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Any person that's in your life that you have, feelings of love for them in one way or another, I do like that explanation of family. So I will say that I do like that.
That was a good thing that I actually did like, is that he explains, because Kit is childlike.
Yeah.
And so Michael is not only a partner, but someone who says, well, buddy, this is how the things work. And so I actually do like the fact that, Michael is patient with Kit in explaining different things. Because that's kind of. It actually made me think of something, and I know we'll cover this in a later season, in season 3, the rotten apples. But it makes me think of the scene where Michael's talking about the local jail, and Kit says, "Whose cow? Is that anything like moo cow?" It just, and I know we'll talk about that later, but that, and again, Michael kind of gets David kind of gets a laugh out of it. No, it's not anything like moo cow, and he's explaining things to him, but I can see in a way for this particular episode where, like, okay, yes, Hart is in this. That's a good thing, but there's 2 different plots, so I can kind of see where you kind of get a little bothered by this one, because there's 2 plots and you kind of have to follow them both. You can't really turn one plot off to catch it all.
So let's turn these scanners off. Surprisingly, I only have 2 notes, even though I really don't care for this episode overall.
Mm-hmm.
First note was, this episode is so depressing.
I wrote the same note down.
And the second note is that, so they write an episode about a sick child and have a gang war surrounding it. Oh, I don't know. Like we said in Scanners On, we like the fact of, Michael explaining the whole family aspect to Kit. I almost think this would have been a better episode if it was, what was the kid's name? Raul? I forget what the damn kid's name is in this. The kid that has to help them get the transplant. I forget. I'll have to look at it.
Julio Martinez.
Yeah. Julio. It would have made for a better episode if they didn't center it around as April's, niece or surrogate niece or whatever else, and it was like maybe his girlfriend needed the like Julio's girlfriend needed the like, instead of it having be a sick little girl. And I know the whole thing of the episode was, Kit and Michael care about this little girl, and she and Kit have this Black Beauty thing. That was weird. But if you're going to center it around a gang war, have the sick person be someone that actually matters to Julio instead of having to convince him to help a stranger. What?
Yeah, I see your point. Because it makes sense, because, okay, like you said, and, think about it. Well, Julio doesn't know this child.
Yeah.
So to give something that you can make more of to a child, it's like, okay, I don't know you, sweetie, but
yeah.
Eventually in the end he was a hero, but still, I can see your point there. Maybe have it be Julio's girlfriend or somebody that he was close to, that he knew.
Right. We'll see that. That's my whole point of, you could have it either as Julio's girlfriend or his other friend, the one that Michael got the licorice for.
Yeah.
If you had it as his girlfriend, the only problem there is the rival gang at one point kidnaps her.
Yes.
So that might be a plot point that would need to be rewritten around or something like that. But it would make more sense to me if, instead of it just being a general, hey, I need to convince you to help this stranger because helping others is good. While I do believe that helping others,
well, we both agree on that.
All that stuff, but it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Is there anything you didn't like about this one?
Pretty much the whole, I guess the whole 2 plots thing didn't really need to be inserted here.
Yeah.
Okay, we've already discussed, the whole plot of April's niece being sick and she needs a transplant. But there didn't need to be two plots. There did not need to be two plots. There just needed to be one plot, and then maybe another episode written out of it somehow.
Yeah.
Instead of two plots in one episode.
Yeah, I agree. So there you go. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back to close the show after this.
Kid? Yes? Shut up.
Welcome to a collaboration between the Geekcast Radio Network and the Pop Culture Network. This is From the Command Center, the podcast. I am your host, Steve Duyahn Mike from the GCRN, and joining me is Zordon himself. Scotty Cash.
That's right, Scotty Cash from the Pop Culture Network, and today we're introducing you to the audio version of From the Command Center, the podcast that will entail our intake on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the episodes, the seasons, and all that other good stuff.
I suppose this party is another phase of your undercover work with Laura.
Hey, it's a tough job, but...
I know. Someone has to do it. I am delighted to see you wearing a tuxedo, though.
I thought you weren't into fashion.
I'm not into the irrational need to constantly change the design of clothing.
Oh, well, excuse me.
The tuxedo, however, is a classic that has changed very little during the past 100 years.
Oh, yeah? Just so you know, this tuxedo is hot and scratchy and stiff.
A small price to pay for style and elegance.
Oh, is that right? Well, maybe I should fit you with a Continental kit and a pair of mud flaps and see how you like it.
You wouldn't dare, would you?
Don't tempt me.
Movie Week in Review is the Geekcast Radio Network's weekly movie podcast. Steve and Mike take a look back on their favorite films and give you their thoughts. They also bring in co-hosts at times. If you are a movie buff, listen to M-Wire only on GeekCastRadio.com.
Keep an eye on things, buddy.
Of course, Michael. Keep that up and you'll be on the wrong end of a car bites dog story.
You can now hear the Geekcast Radio Network while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher is a free use and talk mobile app available for your smartphone. And when you download Stitcher to hear Geekcast Radio, you'll have a chance to win money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just find Stitcher in the App Store. During registration, hit the promo code box and enter Geekcast Radio, all one word, to get automatically entered to win $100. The latest episodes of the shows will be waiting for you in your favorites. You'll get access to lots of other amazing shows too. Always available to you on demand, no syncing. It's Stitcher Smart Radio. Don't forget to enter promo code Geekcast Radio when you register.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
For you, the listeners of Beyond the Night, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Use audibletrial.com/geekcastradio. All right, let's rate these episodes for this for this podcast. Diamonds Aren't a Girl's Best Friend. I'm gonna give that one Kit Car. I like all the jokes in it, but the overall story is just not there for me at all. What about you?
I give it one Kit Car as well. Kind of the same reason. It just, you watch it in the first 15 minutes, you kind of get the episode immediately.
Yeah. White Line Warriors, I'm going to give 4. The only reason why it doesn't get a 5 is because, hey, it's a corrupt cop plot. But I really loved watching that episode, and that episode is probably one that I can go back to and watch again and still, come into it fresh and think, oh, it's going to be great, and then, of course, be let down at the end. But yeah, I give that 4 out of 5. What about you?
I give it a 4 as well, and the same reason, because like I said, when I was watching these again, I'm like, this deserves a 4. Yeah. It would have gotten a 5 had it not been for the corrupt plot again. For the corrupt cop thing, but it
would have almost been better because at first I thought it was, and they couldn't really show it this way, I thought it was going to be the DJ that did it, because let's face it, there's no money in radio. There just isn't.
No, there isn't.
There's never been. At first, I thought it was going to be the DJ and maybe one of his accomplices. So, somehow he was tipping off the cops. The song would play, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it would
go
almost
off. The alarms go off.
Yeah.
The robberies happen.
Yeah, exactly. See, I thought it would have been better if
the DJ
if it was
had done
the
it.
actual DJ that had done the if it was someone robbing the stores for him versus the corrupt cop. And Race for Life, I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to be generous about it. Overall, it's an okay episode. It's not one I personally can watch, but
I have to give it a 3.5. Just not it. I mean, it almost makes a 4, but not quite. I have to give it a 3.5. So, but again, 2 plots don't need to be in one episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why.
So before we close out, why don't you tell the people about your other stuff that you've got
Other
going
stuff I have going on, and let's see. Yes, did we get those links put in yet?
Yep.
Okay. The other love I do is broadcasting. You can catch me on Sky106.net, www.sky106.net. And as a matter of fact, I also give a plug about geekcastradio.com. So see, I do 2 things at once.
Awesome.
I've done that a couple of broadcasts.
Cool.
But I'm over there on Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, doing an old school show. So if you guys want to hear some old school stuff, maybe some jazz, depending on what you're into, you can catch us over there. Catch me over there anyway. Sky106.net. Follow us on Twitter. We do have an MSN account, but of course I'm not going to go into the MSN Microsoft crapola because we all know what's going on with that. I also have a blog, so if you guys want to look at that, you're more than welcome to. You can leave comments, positive only, because if I see negative ones, they will be deleted. And I don't really want a lot of spam and crap on my blog. So if you guys want to check out my blog and my website through the Serotech system access deal, you can certainly click the link and that'll take you up to the website and you can look at that all you want.
Yep. All right. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. There are several ways to get in contact with us, so leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on each and every episode post. Email us, feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter. Beyond the Night is the show Twitter. Mine is TFG and Mike. What is your Twitter?
The Music Man 08. As a matter of fact, we should put a link up there. Did we do that?
Well, not for your Twitter, no.
Okay.
The people will figure it out.
Okay, yeah.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving a message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night and wish you'll join us next time when we'll be reviewing 3 more episodes from Knight Rider Classic Season 2, those being Speed Demons, Goliath Returns, and A Good Night's Work. For now, I am TFG and Mike with
Beyond the Music Man.
Kit, close the show.
As Michael would say, thanks, pal.
One man can make a difference, Michael. Michael Knight, a lone crusader in a dangerous world. The world of the Knight Rider.